So hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Hackcast, and today we are going to record an episode with Fardeen Ahmed, and also we have launched some courses on our website. You can check them out in the description. We have launched a basic bug bounty courses, advanced bug bounty courses, full stack development, and some recorded courses. There's a lot of other courses that are going to be live on the website, and you can check the reviews here. So let's get into the podcast.
Hey, hi everyone. My name is Fardeen Ahmed. I am a security researcher, DevOps engineer, cybersecurity uh, engineer, and apart from that, uh, a bug bounty hunter, part time, not full time. Apart from that, I play soccer, not soccer, football. Yes, because soccer is American, and I play football. And apart from that, I play quite retro games and new games also, sometimes Valorant and all those things. And I create basic content which is quite in digital format over different social media platforms. I love the favorite sports or game. What if you have to put it in? Then it's football and it's chess. That's it. That's my personal exposure towards this world. That's it.
So let me update you guys. Like we have recorded a video like few weeks ago, but because of some issues, we have to remove all our previous podcasts from the channel. So this is we are doing once again that thing, right? So, sir, how did you get into this journey? Like my favorite part, I know that. So, can you tell something about it? That was pretty
Uh,
interesting.
yeah, sure. So, this all started when I was in what do you say, in seventh standard something. Yeah, seventh standard. When I was having a fight with my brother. In fact, okay, over you know just putting the what you say, connect the Bluetooth device with the cell phone. At that time, there used to be those keypad cell phones like Nokia 2610, 5310, and all those type of devices. So my brother and I were fighting continuously to play English versus Hindi songs because I didn't have that much genre or at that time. Okay,
Mhm.
about music and all those things. I just listen to some musics over 9XM. Kabhi kabhi, I used to listen over different channels and TVs, nothing more than that, and they were quite great. So I was fighting with my brother for that, and he connected his Bluetooth. He had a Bluetooth speaker. He connected it with his cell phone, and he was like, "Now I can do it whatsoever I want to do." So I was quite furious and angry, and I did nothing, but I went towards the speaker. I used my cell phone. I was able to just switch on the Bluetooth of the device and I tried to connect it as much as possible. And the best part was I was able to get connected with before, like during the time his device got disconnected. Within that fraction of time, I was able to get connected. And this was the very first instance of mine when I got, enraged. Not enraged, I would say it was an adrenaline rush that I got. Like, yeah, man, I was able to get into the speaker and I was awesome. I was able to play with the music. By the way, it was not my cell phone, it was my father's cell phone. So I got that access and I was able to get to know, like, yeah, man, I was able to get connected to the Bluetooth speaker. But this was the very first instance that broke my mind as to how did it get connected. The worst thing about being a curious person is this word known as how, because sometimes it gets you in very deep trouble.
So it's
And it
kind
had,
of like started with the Bluetooth jacking thing, right?
yeah, you can say that. It was, personally speaking, at first it was not Bluetooth jacking or blue jacking, but then later with time I realized that there are some techniques through which you can do blue jacking. So whenever my brother used to try to get connected with the Bluetooth device, I used to use those techniques, and in order to get that, I read a lot of papers, and not papers, I would say some blogs, all the places. I used to Google a lot, and I learned quite a lot. And this was the very first thing about what my first instance with hacking with respect to bluejacking. Intentionally with time I was able to get connected with bluejacking and Bluetooth hijacking, and my brother was so much irritated that he never used to fight with me for that Bluetooth speakers and everything as such. He was like, देख भाई तुझे चलाना तू चला ले, मैंने लड़ना ही नहीं तुमसे. He was straightforward. If you want to play it, play it. I don't want to fight with you now because this is something that is out of my mind too. And this was the very first thing that I learned. Increasingly with time, because I started to learn these things, I researched a lot. But the problem was, at that time there was nothing known as there was known as Wi-Fi or wireless interconnection fidelity, but the thing was, it was not available in at my home because we come from a very lower middle class. Okay, so any access to these things, and at that time it used to be around 1 gigs of data pack. It used to be around 400 rupees something, and that was something which was unnecessary expense at my home. So we didn't used to use it in any way. Plus there was no use of it. Only the thing was, my brother used to have it different kinds of packs, and he used to use it. So from his cell phone I used to read a lot about it. So with time I saw that there was something that I couldn't capture, or I cannot do anything of this. Okay, so and that was like, at that time I used to use a SIM card which was of Telenor. Previously it was Uninor, then it turns to Telenor, and we were using that. So at that time there was a package of 17 rupees of 100 250 250 MBs for 3 days. And at that time 250 MB was a very great deal. Okay, so we used to fill it up. At that time I used to have some friends also. I got addicted with Facebook at that time because there was no Instagram, and even if there was Instagram, we had no idea about it. We had Facebook Messenger, Facebook Lite, and all those things. So I used to talk with people. In fact, I started to have a connection with a girl also, and I used to talk with her too. So that was a very mad experience, but I don't want to share because this is much more of an infotech podcast. Never mind. So we used to talk a lot, but the thing was this 3-day barrier, and after that I have to recharge a lot of times. I told my mother that I need 20 rupees, but after every third day or fourth day to ask 20 rupees, she was quite curious about it. So she asked again, like, for what you need it? And I said I need it because I want to eat something. But still she after some time she didn't pinged also, and I was okay, no problem. But somehow the other way I came to know that I have to do something with this because I cannot ask 20 rupees every day from my mother. I cannot. So I started to search through my brother's cell phone, as well as sometimes if he was not available at home. So I used to search it from my father's phone, in which I used to fill the data pack, and that was of that 20 rupees one. So with time I came to know there was something which is known as free internet packs. There was a concept of free internet packs also. So you have to send some message, and the company, if not if you're the first retail, like first person or first person who was using that particular sim of that particular company, then you can avail around 1 gigs of data
Internet,
pack.
right?
Yeah, internet data pack, but it was only for 1 month. The problem was never about the quantity that I was getting. The problem was the validity of the pack. That was very less. Today also, the problem is not with the data pack, the problem is with the validity. It's quite very less. That's why we are paying a lot for the validity rather than we are paying for data, because data we are getting it in some or the other way, but validity, it sucks. So I was going through a lot of things with at that time. I researched about this free internet pack. I even availed it, but guess what? After 30 days, nothing else happened. So still again I started to research. Within that period of time, in fact, I started to research as to how to get it unlimited free data. And there was a concept, okay, which is slightly related to, which is known as SIM jacking. And at that point, when you'll be reading about SIM cards, previously there used to be 5 sections. Now it's 6 to 8 sections. Previously, in those 5 sections, there was an area of input output. Plus, there was an area where you just have another area where you just have to scratch and remove the golden part of it. that the golden strip that is at the back of the SIM card, that if you remove it, okay, and reinstall it in your cell phone, and then try to have access of internet and stuff, then there are high chances that you'll be getting free internet for what you say, unlimited time or unlimited validity, till the time they are not being rectified by the ISP, means the providers, SIM providers. So I tried it, and I was able to successfully destroy two of my favorite SIM cards that were given to me by my brother. Okay, I destroyed it in the best way possible, and I didn't told them, because if I would have, they would have not killed me, but rather they would have beaten the shit out of me if they had to. But they are very good people, so they didn't do anything as such. Even because they didn't knew anything, after this podcast they might know it. As the previous podcast also. So I told them, I told them, and they were very much. I told them after a very long time, and they were like, "Why did you do it? What was the issue?" But still, so never mind. I had a talk, and some or the other way, I researched, like everything I researched, I learned, and then I went through it. I destroyed two SIM cards. There was one SIM card, and that was of my father. Many a times, what, like 90% of this experiment that I have done at that has always been on my father's cell phone. You might, like the people who are listening to, there will be some people or a lot of people will be knowing about, there used to be a pin code block on PUK code block. You have to enter a PUK code in order to reopen your cell phones. I used to do a lot of times, and my father used to get very much angry over that. So he used to go to the SIM card operator. He used to give those 6 to 8 digit, 4 to 6 digit of that number. He used to put it in, and then only the SIM card used to get open. So in my third SIM card that my father had, his personal number, I some or the other way was able to get to that section, removed it, I reinstalled it, and voila, it was running awesome. So, but there was only one problem, and it was only you'll be getting a speed of 110 kb per second, not more than that. At that time, 100 kbs was very, very great speed, okay, but still, again, now
What year
it
was it,
sucks.
by the way?
Pardon?
What?
Pardon? What you said?
What's the year? Like 2000?
Okay,
What year was
so
it?
it was in 2013. Yeah, I was in 8th standard. Yeah, 8 to 9 standard. Like it was the end of the 8th standard, beginning of the 9th standard. So yeah, 2013. So 2013 was the time, and I was very much happy that now I can have access to these numbers. Okay, and at that time only I was, my father some or the other way, he started to use a new cell phone. And he gave me his old Nokia 5310 Express Music, so I was very happy. But I requested them a lot to give his number to me, that I wanted to use his number only because I had a very great access of abundant access of internet, and I was able to use it. So 56 kbs per second to 110 kb per second, I was getting internet. I was able to chat with a lot of friends and every family and every people. Not family, of course, families are always blocked some or the other way, but still I was able to talk with the people. Obvious, it's a very obvious thing, because if you know what happens when you are in family groups and WhatsApp and Instagram today, right?
Good
So you can
morning, good
imagine.
afternoon, good
Good,
evening, and good night,
and there will
boys.
be one Poopaji sending these
Yep.
things. So I just ignored these things. I was not that much of a very good person. I was obedient, but I was not good. That is for sure. So that was a very close encounter of me being with the sim jacking part. Interestingly, sim jacking is much more about copying the SIM card. I later came to know that this is related to sim jacking, that you can enhance the abilities of a SIM card. Okay, and most probably I was able to do that also with time, that I was able to clone. Again, my father's SIM card was used to test for SIM card jacking. I tested it, and I was able to do it successfully at
You
my
have
one
tried
try,
your
because
father's phone for like a lot of
everything,
purposes, like just because of
everything,
curiosity, right?
everything, man. My father's phone was like, no
In
problem, man. You
Doraemon's
come here.
pocket to try
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. That was Pandora's box. Everything was happening from that thing only, but you just don't have to, open much of the things. You can do this, you can do this, but you don't have to do this. The thing was, a lot of things my father didn't understood at that time. Okay.
It's
And
like
when I,
my goal is legal, but the way I'm doing is kind of illegal. Right?
yeah, but
हिंदी
with,
में कहते हैं
yeah,
ना,
yeah, sure. हाँ.
इरादा सही है तरीका गलत है.
अब यार जब गोल अच्छा हो ना तो फिर इरादे कोई भी तरीका ले लो यार, बस काम हो जाना चाहिए. Because at the end, result matters. No one gives a damn about your process or procedure or the grind you're going through. No one gives a damn.
Definitely. We all know that, like, we all put stories, the support and the thanks and the credits
Everyone,
too.
everyone who is listening to this
Like all
podcast.
the persons who are like, okay, what the hell you are going on, what the hell you are doing, like you know what I am doing exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of weird. So you can understand how much hate I get. Like, okay, what's the point of doing YouTube and hacking? That shit is all illegal. You are not supposed to do. Man, I
Mm-hmm.
can do, if I want to, I can do this. When I have only a single CPU, they'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, man, there is no future in this. Now I have the whole fucking setup. They're still like, what the hell did you do, man? This is
Oh
not such a
yeah.
useful thing. Still,
Oh
now
yeah.
I see some sort of jealousy. So I kinda
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it. Okay, I am not doing right. So
Jealousy will always come, man. Always come. There's a song of Sidhu Moosewala that's 295. There is a particular line in it, like the world at first they are always going to laugh on you, okay, and the
definitely.
moment when you'll try to the moment when you'll be like going great in your pace, then they'll start to abuse you, test like
Because
कि
you are
सही
the one
में
who
या
is
फिर
breaking the matrix.
yeah. अरे matrix and all those things, these all are secondary topic. The primary focus should
Yep.
be like, are you working on yourself every day or not? Okay, so that's the thing. So that's how, coming back to the story, like I was able to get to the sim hijacking part, and I was able to do it successfully with my father's phone, and it was going pretty good, pretty much great. The best part was there was a friend of mine whose laptop I used to always use in order to do these all nefarious things. So it was going great. So near to something, I was able to do the blue jacking, something related to sim jacking. In fact, I was able to con ISPs. But later, like around 6 months, that sim got, banned in some or the other way. I used to use it before, but it got banned because I didn't get to know as to why it got banned or there was no signal at all after my second year, because there are high chances that they might have traced something which was of no use, or I haven't used that cell phone with that SIM card for a pretty long time. Okay, after I left that 5310 cell phone for a smartphone. So progressively my father bought a phone which was smart at that time, that was known as Samsung Grand Neo Prime. That time was a very that was a very great phone at that time. I took the, while I was researching the things, okay, interestingly, at that time, I came to the point of Wi-Fi. So I didn't knew about what Wi-Fi was, it was quite an old technology. It came in the market way before, but I didn't had any idea. So I started to learn about what Wi-Fi is, and it showed me that with Wi-Fi you can get pretty good speed of internet. And I was like, damn, bro, if I'm
Like,
getting this much,
we can imagine the life changes so fast. At that time, the Wi-Fi was so underrated, and
very
these
much
days we
underrated.
are like dead without Wi-Fi.
Come on,
We are
man.
we
At
are
that
having the one
time,
and a
you're
half GB
getting,
data, right? Usually,
yeah.
we go out and we just open the app. Okay, it's updating. I can't update it right now. I have to go when I need Wi-Fi.
Hmm.
When my Wi-Fi router was like there was some issues from the provider,
Hmm.
I was like, wow, there is so much to do in this world other than sitting on the computer.
Yeah, it is. The best part about Wi-Fi and all those things, currently you might not get the struggle, but at that time it was a very great struggle to get an internet
When I
connection, man.
started, like I was only having the data. Like my mom is having a phone, and
Hmm.
he don't use that much data in the day. So I was having 4 to 700 MB per day
Hmm.
that left over. So what I do is like Okay, 700 MB today, 700 MB. So this week I will download the Kali Linux ISO. Next week I will update it. So I was doing it in installments using the pause, resume. But in the end, yeah, it pays.
Okay. Like seriously, you have also struggled in your time, that it means. Seriously, man.
My parents still don't believe in the need of Wi-Fi. They are like, okay, just do this on phone. You are having internet. So that's why I'm not at my home doing these things because they are not allowing me to. Don't get a Wi-Fi.
Mhm.
There is no need. I said, okay, I
It's
won't.
okay. The thing is, parents are the best thing that ever happens to anyone. Okay. The worst thing, if many a times they don't get us, that doesn't mean they're wrong people or something as such. They don't and a lot of time they don't understand, and it's okay, man, because we all are growing together now. Okay, there is a very small gap between us and them, very small gap that we can mutually connect it and finish this gap. Okay, this technological advancement is being done every single day. Okay, every single day. So to meet that needs with respect to the parent, that is a very big thing. ये बहुत जरूरी है कि आप अपने पेरेंट्स के साथ कनेक्ट हो. Okay, this is a very big thing. You have to, otherwise you will be literate, but you have no idea, but in from your mother's account there will be a very great scam. आपको नहीं पता
Definitely.
चलेगा. There will be a scam from your mother's account and you won't be able to rectify it once it is done. Because I was researching and I came to know, because there will be a write-up that I'll be publishing it. There are there now the social engineering part is a very different cause. It's a very different thing now. Social engineering has nothing to do with hyperlink and all those things, but we'll get to that story eventually. So I I was able to get to the Wi-Fi part. Let's coming back to the story. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yes. So
yeah, so
bounce.
yeah, it's okay, it happens. So uh my neighbors, a lot of neighbors used to have Wi-Fi, and that was a prominent one. They used to use it and it was very fun. The problem was I didn't have any access. I had a great strength of, like, I had a great network strength, but no access. I asked them, then they said, "What's the use? You come use our system and then go." I know there is a thing that is known as syslogs that gets whatever I'll be doing, they'll be saving it, and they are using pretty much which is known as Windows 7, and unfortunately they were using Windows
Windows
XP too.
7, man, that was an amazing thing of its time.
Arre.
Right? Whenever
Win-
I like yesterday, I was just looking for, okay, I want to revise CSRF. Then
Mhm.
I saw Windows 7, then I think, yeah, that thing is great. We
Mhm.
used to play the GTA, okay, then the
Yeah,
bottom blur
you're getting on the right
taskbar.
path. You're getting on a very right path.
That was pretty cool.
That was the best thing, man. That seriously was the best thing. So, um, GTA Vice City, I have been playing from a very long time. I've played Road Rash, Witchwalk Cop 2, Devil May Cry, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, like a ton of games. Hulk, not DLS, DLS I'm playing now, but what do you say, FIFA 9. I'm playing FIFA from 2004, but these all in my father's system, and it has been great, man. These games have been retro games are, come on, man. Sometimes I feel like I should go back to the time, play, and just come back. See, I can download it, I can do it right now again, play with it. It's pretty nostalgic, but the thing is, the people of my age are playing great games of our time, that might be Valorant, PUBG, CS:GO, and all those things. And those are pretty good games. They're not bad games or such. But at that time, when you used to go to game parlors to play games, okay, you used to get it from your friends. You used to take the pen drive, go, "Hey, bhai, sunna, you have Wi-Fi and you download the games. Come on, man. Bhai hai na tu." It was like, come on, man. Vice City,
That
and you
was the
should,
thing.
and that
Like,
was the thing. Like, when you get the GTA as well as San Andreas, you'll be getting two cheat codes paper. Okay, we'll be writing all the cheat codes in the paper. We used to bring it back at our home, and we used
because
to do
at
all
that
those
time we are not having assignments.
things. Nothing, bro. No assignments, bro. We used to have only tests. We were given the schedule parts. Like, there were, in a year only, there were 2 semesters as usual, but there were no these many tests. We were like, in a month there might be one test or maximum two tests. That is also of around what, 5 to 10 questions, depending upon what subject it is, and done. There was no evaluation based on the tests, but rather the evaluation is based on how we are performing in the class as well as the examinations. That's it. Now I'm seeing my now I'm seeing my different friends and colleagues, and it's being pretty much bad, bro. It's like, damn, these many tests you're doing just to it's
Like,
but still,
2 tests a week.
2 tests a week. Fuck, man, that much I cannot study. See, education is a very good thing. The problem is it should always be based on different categories and criteria to make people learn rather than scoring marks. I know market is very much hard in the field of currently in the field of education and all those things, but and results to make parents proud that yes, my son has got 90% something as such, but that's not the thing that should be done.
At that time, our only we are not getting that much like social. There are people
Yeah.
like we all know that, like that one guy in the class who is having 90% score, we are having 80%, and that our neighbor is having 80 or 80, same percentage. So we are not getting compared. Now everything is online. Everything is going like okay, the whole result sheets. So that's kind of
That's a good
uh
thing, in fact. If there is no
yeah,
comparison, that's a pretty good thing if it is happening.
because you know what
Okay.
you want to do rather than just making newspapers.
Exactly. Making newspaper. That was a good one. Still, sometimes, sometimes I feel that the vernacular, education system before what we had was fantastic. Okay. It was fantastic because there was a test based on our skills. Okay.
School
And
is
section
only good until the
only
eighth
skills.
class. After
Damn.
it, we are getting the board sheets, and after 10th, like I have done the polytechnic college. I
Hmm.
thought, look, the random thing that everyone knows. You'll be in college, enjoy your life. There's nothing like that. Okay, whenever you go to college, on the
Hmm.
first week, you enjoy. Okay, nice. There is freedom. There's this, that, shit. No, there is nothing like that. It's only for the first week. Then what's going to happen, right? I think you can relate, Ahmed Bhaiya. There's a thing. Okay, you are getting a first test in a week,
Hmm.
and you won't realize the first test, then the mid sem, then second test, assignment, practical, final sem. I still don't know where are my 2 semesters have gone. It's like I haven't visited a place yet, man.
See, man, the thing is, these assignments and all those things should be done for self-evaluation. Okay,
Yep.
like the thing is, bro. We can talk a lot about this thing, but in a very short way, if I have to put, then students who are getting raised are not getting raised like this education system. I heard from some place that, and that was a very true thing that heard it from some place, and that was this education system has killed the capacity of students to learn things. Okay,
For
to
sure.
learn things, to have a curious mind as to why and how this happens. Okay.
Like what I think is like there's a very big difference in learning and remembering.
Yeah, I
What we
don't.
are doing is just remember this concept. I don't know where is the sine theta and cos theta are used in the normal life. What I believe, like
Maths is my
during the
favorite
COVID
subject.
debate, like that cancel the 10th CBSE boards. I was the one who was likely
Okay.
to get cancelled, but still, I tweeted a comment mentioning I don't know who I mentioned, but that
Hmm.
tweet is already still available in the Twitter. I
Hmm.
told, let me give you a clear thing. After 10th
Hmm.
class, give students a year to explore themselves, what they want to do, then teach according to them. I still don't know, like if there is someone who wants to be doctor, is why he or she is studying this sine theta cos theta in 10th, bro.
Agreed. I strongly agree
Divide
with
these
this point.
things because there
I
is a lot
strongly
of
agree.
things that have to be divided. We are all doing this random thing. We have to go to a particular, okay, that is important moral education, but beside moral education all what we are getting is there is nothing. Like the last 2 days ago I posted a
Hmm.
story, like that today's age is like 13 to 18 years of guys are
Hmm.
doing a lot of things. Like we are
Hmm.
we are also having the same syllabus. We are not doing this reels in schools and other things. So
Hmm.
there is fault in both the sides, the students and the system.
Hmm. See, I can talk about this topic, okay, but
I think
first
we
we
are
should come
just
back to the
distracting
story.
from the hacking
No,
podcast.
no, no.
We are
We'll be getting to this topic for sure. Okay, I
definitely.
have all this all the time. We will discuss. If you come back to the story, I would just say that I was able to get to the have the access of my father's phone, but he never used to give it to me more often. So one of the time I came to know that for Wi-Fi hacking and all those things, I have to do something with this with a smart cell phone which is known as routing. At that time there was not that much concept of routing. There was about flashing, and that was I used to consider flashing and routing two different things. But when it was done over a phone which was of what you say, which was quite Symbian in nature versus Android, at that time those two were, the procedure was same, but the problem was the previously routing system was like, if there was any kind of point one kind of a like disturbance with the cable or connection or anything as such, the phone is going to be completely bricked. Okay, so bricked means that phone will be only used for paperweights, nothing else. You cannot install any programs, because that was the Android way it was meant at that time. I know it was, the version was 4.4.4 Jelly Bean. Okay, so that Android version was used in that way. So I was able to get it. I took it to my friend's place. I asked him, like, is there any way that can be done? He said, yeah, there is always a way. The problem is, man, if your phone goes, I am not responsible for that. So I took
Yeah.
out the SIM card of my father, memory card that was of 2 gigs of memory at that time. So I took it out and all those things. And I just prayed, Ya Alhamdulillah, Ya Allah. Never things, nothing to happen, anything as such. Otherwise, my father is going to not kill me, but disown me for sure, because this phone is quite expensive. So, and I just said, Bismillah, just get started. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. And things went up, and it went quite well. And some or the other way, it went well, but it just happened. But there was no sign of rooting or anything as such. Okay, so I was quite pretty. It felt pretty bad. There was an app which was added in that what you say, in that Android version. That was for sure. But the problem was the Android version that was flashed in it for routing purpose was quite modded or modified, if I have to put it in that way. At that time, we used to mod a lot of things. We used to mod games using Lucky Patcher. Then we used to
Ah, the lucky patcher,
uh,
man.
uh, we used to mod a lot of games at that time, but the cloud-based games we couldn't do it. Okay, so we couldn't do the cloud-based games. We tried to do the PUBG and all those. PUBG, not, what is the game name? I'm not getting the name. At that time, there was that game
Mini
was very much
militia.
famous. Yeah, Mini Militia. So
Yeah,
we were
man.
able to do the Mini Militia part. The problem was
That
we were
was
able to,
our times the CS:GO and Valorant.
yeah. PUBG, not PUBG. That CS:GO. Yeah, CS:GO was sure. Yeah. Today also it's famous, but very less people will know about it. Not
There is a
many will be
quote
knowing.
from the routing process you said. Like I usually love this quote so much that I want a printout of it. That
Mhm.
if you are not willing to risk the unusual, then you will have to settle for the ordinary. You risk the phone,
Exactly, man.
and in the end, you won't regret that thing, right? Even if you fail,
Exactly, man. Exactly, man. You have to do it, even if the odds are not in your favor. You have to do,
definitely.
because if you are curious, then you have to do. If you are not curious, then don't do it, man. There's no use. If you are curious, you want to learn, because learning is a very painful process. You have to learn by bargaining something. Either you bargain time, you bargain energy, you bargain money, you bargain anything to learn one thing. But once learned, you can get back all those things except time.
Like
Except time, you can get back anything.
just an hour ago, I met a friend.
Hmm.
In this 2022 year, he changed his passion 4 times just because of his friend circle changes. So there is a huge difference between the passion, interest, curiosity, and the peer pressure. So there is a lot of
Peer
people who are just
pressure.
getting into hacking to see the money. They are not curious. They just want to learn bugs. And okay, I want
Just
bounty.
bugs, bro.
That's a
They
big
it has
difference.
like most of the people who are getting started in bug bounty hunting, they are like man, they are earning in dollars. I'm like, yeah, so what? So they're earning quite great. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. How to get started? When I tell them to get started, they're like, no, man, this is not the way to do. Like, okay, so what is the way? Tell me. no man, this is not the way. You have to learn these things. I'm like, no man. If you're going to learn these things, you're just going to find handful of things. But if you're going to learn these basics and then you're going to learn these things, you're going to not get handful but a bag full of all those things. So
Definitely.
think. So think in that way. The problem is people don't want to, learn, but they just want to earn it. Like, I don't do anything. I just follow a procedure. I copy it. I get it. No, that is not in the field of security research. That is not in the field of bug bounty hunting. It is not. It has nothing to do in that way. So coming back to the topic, coming back to the story. So uh, I was able to successfully get some of the other way the root access. There was an application. Yeah, I tried one application again that was known as King Root at that time. Today also it is there for a soft rooting part. Okay, you can get you can unroot also. Now there is a system known as unrooting the device also. And our times once rooted, it was not. There is no going back. So now you can unroot it. Never mind. So when I unrooted the device, I was able to sure-shotedly get to know about what. When I rooted it, I got an app which was much more like not as a Termux, but it was kind of a terminal. There were 3 apps that was installed after root. Although he flashed it, but there was no instance that was not no application or any app that was coming in. And after like using King Root and anything as such, there were 3 apps that I was able to get it. One was the main application of King Root. The second was Super User, and third was an app, a very small app of around some KBs, but it was much more like a terminal. So with time, I started to research a lot about what this black screen is. Then eventually I came to know this is known as terminal, and you type commands. And interestingly, most of the operating systems at that time, I was like we were reading about what Windows are, Linux are, who Linus Torvalds was, what Dennis Ritchie created Unix as to be, and how Linus Torvalds took over, and who was Bill Gates. At that time, Bill Gates was the richest person.
Yeah.
Just FYI. So I was learning these things, and I learned a lot of things during these times. But the problem was,
Installing Linux for the first time or just having that terminal with the something written here.
yeah,
That's the best feeling ever.
that's a feeling that I got when I was in my second, no, in my 11th standard. Yeah, 11th and 12th standard mid. Never mind. I got the access of the terminal and all those things, and I was easily typing the commands, not commands, I would say anything. If the very first thing was like my name is Fardina, very first thing, and I was very happy. Yeah, I wrote it over terminal, very happy for no
Finally,
reason.
the robot
No
told me my
reason.
name.
Yeah, I was very happy, but for no reason. I still find it so stupid, but still I was happy at that time, so yeah, it's okay. So after that, things went great. I started to learn a lot of things about what Wi-Fi hacking is and how to do the Wi-Fi hacking. And interestingly, I came to know there is something which is known as, there are 3 to 4 scripts that you should have. Now they are known as tools. At that time, they were nothing but known as scripts. That was of Air Replay, Airmon, like Airmon NG, Air Replay NG, and TCP dump. Not TCP dump. Yeah, TCP dump. No. There was some dump script. Now the name has been changed, but that was a dump script. So what it used to do is very first thing is to send the deauth pack, so that the very first thing was to set your cell phone's Wi-Fi, adapter chip or the chipset what you have in monitor mode, then to set it out, send it to the people, like send it to the, not people, what you say, send it to the Wi-Fi router. It sends the deauth pack. The authentication package usually used to get it to a particular ID, which was a very primitive method. Today also people are using it, but it's quite primitive. Now there are
I
different
have the
WPS.
Wi-Fi adapter to do this. Like
Arey,
if I
man,
have
at that time to buy a Wi-Fi adapter was also I have to think twice. Not twice, what 10 times I have to think. I didn't have that much amount of money.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah.
In beginning, we are just like brokies and beginners.
We
In
are
both matters,
brokies,
in
man.
knowledge and in everything. But in that,
Bro, I thank to the Almighty that I was broke. I was not broke,
yeah,
in fact, but the thing was I couldn't afford these things. Okay, these were for me these were my personal luxuries. I couldn't have it because if I ask it from my parents will be like, you should have toys, you should have some gaming stuff. What the heck are you asking me this for? Where you will be using it? Okay, so that was the thing. I started my journey with with my father's cell phone only. Everything as such. I told my father to, like, have access anything as such. He would have been like, okay, even if I get it, what you'll do it? And if I tell my father that yes, I have rooted your cell phone, and he will be surely asking his friends, and his friends will be like, sir, you have void your warranty. Think, sir, now your phone cannot be repaired. The very first thing what his friends would have said. Okay, my father is a tech person for sure. He knows he is quite advanced from his friends. Okay, but still he would have asked that why did you root it? For example, if it would have breaked or something, I said what would you have done? So I didn't said much. Like most of the things that I have done in my life, I never told my parents till that time it revealed the results. Never. I never told them. The very first time I was able to, send the DOT pack and everything. By the way, these all things I started to research on my cell phone. The previous one which I had, that 5310, with having, that access of internet and all those things, I started to research through that. And interestingly, at that time, there was a person. He came by the name of Jack. Yeah, Jack. Jack, or there were two people, Graham and Jack. So Graham used to run an IRC servers. Okay, that was a very great place to learn things. Got connected in my 12th standard about what IRC servers are and how to get in IRCs in the rooms. So it took pretty much some time about it. Although those IRC rooms are not worth it, but now it's not worth it because we have Discord and all those things. Previously, there used to be IRC private server rooms where people used to share
Discord
information.
is underrated, but definitely it's so helpful.
Yeah, it is worth it now. Now it is worth it because now you can connect with a lot of people, not only streamers, but the people who can learn it, who want to learn it for free. Like, okay, YouTube is a very great place, but now it's filled with advertisement, and that is a
YouTube is like, a click jack. I
click jack.
I upload
Hello guys.
content, right? As I said, there are people who just want to enter something into a search bar or into a parameter and
One of the main
boundary.
reasons I never went to
Pick
YouTube was this
any
one.
video of my YouTube channel. This is like, okay, how to do this in XSS. I told how to find it in test PHP. I
Mhm,
honestly taught 5 vulnerabilities: race condition, SSTI, CRLF, and
mhm,
two more. But
mhm,
definitely, there is a thing you have to be learning on your own. There is nothing which can help you to get
mhm,
into so anything.
mhm.
And then you have to put the efforts.
You have to put the efforts, bro. Okay, because personally speaking, no one gives a damn. Okay, till the time you are rich, famous, or dead. These three
Yeah,
per time. If you are rich, people will care for you. If you're famous, people will care for you. If you're dead, people will care for you.
there's the
Apart from the
Andrew Tate guy who just told a
Henry.
thing like, if you see a random Lambo pull up in the gas station at 1 a.m. in the morning, you won't think that this boy got 90% in his 10th, right? You won't think
Mhm.
that. You will think he will be a drug mafia or being a relative of a rich person. But in then he may have made his own money, man. There is no one to appreciate your efforts, but everyone to just give a
Yeah,
reason to escape the reality.
that is the thing. No one wants to, like, my father taught me this. Both of my parents have taught me this. My mother has been the biggest support of everything. So both of my parents have taught me that, you know, whatsoever you are doing, just do it first, complete it, and show the results to the people. Okay, always show the results to the people, but never show your actions. Never. Whatsoever you're doing, never show your actions or never even try to get any kind of credits through your actions. Your results are going to get you everything. Okay, work hard on yourself more than your job or anything what you are contributing to. Work hard on yourself more. And third thing what they have taught me is people are always, people are not sad because they're having a lot, like most of the people, I'm saying not your close one or near ones, but most of the people in the world are sad not because they have problems. Rather, most of the people are sad because the other people who are near to them are happy. They are contented, they are in peace, and they get unnecessarily jealous for no reason. They get jealous for no reason. They're asking like, "Arey, how he could do it, man? He was such a failure kind of a guy. How he was able to do it?" And
The
it felt
real reason of these things, like the real reason of feeling you are not doing enough, is the social media, right?
arey, social media is
Some
it's
point,
another
like,
topic.
yeah, that you're saying that we easily see that, okay, he's a new guy, and in a month you will see, man, he's doing great. So that
Hmm.
kind of thing kind of demotivates a lot of people.
Arey, a lot of in today's world, everything is demotivating other people because they are not getting the root cause of what they're doing. Okay, we'll discuss this thing too.
Yep.
Okay, we will discuss this thing too.
We are having a lot of topics out than the topic.
Yeah,
So
coming
we
back
will
to
do
the
that.
coming
This
back to the
podcast is
topic.
going to be so interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be quite long. So if you want to listen, then listen. If you don't want to listen, it's okay,
I
man.
think I have to
Still,
put
you
this on
have to listen.
Spotify as the truth of reality,
Never
mentioning a lot
mind.
of people's.
Never mind. Yeah, yeah, that was a good one again. So, uh, I asked coming back to the story. I asked
Yep.
my father for that routing part. I got all the access of those all three applications, and I started to research and get to know about what air replay, airmon, air crack, and all those things. So I started to type it, and if I have to put it in a word, then I have failed a lot of times. I failed so much of time that I was once I thought of that I should not do it now only. But then I thought that if I will be able to do it, I'll get unlimited access to the internet. Man, come on, come on. So I was able to get successfully do all these things, all these. Now people can say shitty things or very beginner or noob kind of a thing because now it's completely automated, okay, with different kind of tools now. Okay, it's also based on GUI and all those things. Kali has those fantastic tools for that. But Kali was previously known as Backtrack. Okay, Kali, that they had these air replay, airmon, air crack, all those things. Okay, when it was launched as a Backtrack, and at our place we had to put it as a script on a terminal in that cell phone, and then we were using it with ConnectBot and all those things. So when I got the access, I was able to successfully send it, and I got the password. I was able to connect it, and I was using it fantastically. The problem was, again, he was always used to push it back, and some or the other way, we were not able to, like, that device didn't used to get connected again. So I felt pretty much bad. Ki, why, man? Why are you doing this again and again? Okay, I know that you have the access, but भाई दे दे यार. वाईफाई एक्सेस मेरे को रहने दे यार. क्या दिक्कत है? एक डिवाइस एक्स्ट्रा आ गया तेरे सिस्टम में तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है? But फिर भी, still, he did those unnecessary things. Sometimes he used to change password. And he's like, damn, bro, come on now. Previously, okay, one more thing. Previously, if you used to change Wi-Fi passwords, now also you can do it in the hotspot, in your cell phone hotspot. Okay, so previously, whatever used to be saved in the Wi-Fi passwords, I don't know whether they are continuing it right now or not. But because I've not tested this functionality again after that instance. So if you had a connection of one device with the Wi-Fi, you change the password, and if if even if you were saved in the Wi-Fi, like if you have the saved connection with respect to that router, if you used to get connected, it used to decline it, or sometimes it used to say that no, authentication failed, or it was always like obtaining IP addresses, and nothing, you never used to get connected with that Wi-Fi, or it was like saved. It didn't say that you have incorrect password, something as such. No, it usually used to be like access, not access, what do you say, obtaining IP address. And this was a very big thing that used to be like, come on, man, I have been doing this from past these many years. I have this many days, and you are just disconnecting me. I'm just reading stuff. I'm just happy with these things. In fact, I told my mother that I was able to hack my neighbor's password and Wi-Fi and all those things, and she's like, okay, that's good, but don't tell people. I'm like, why? Like, just don't tell it. Why? Because it's illegal. I'm like, come on, man. Who's going to do anything to me over this? Now, if I read the laws, I'm like, damn, bro. If I'll be able to do these things in front of the people, and if they are doing it without their consent, man, 3 years straight in the imprisonment and 5 lakh, up to 5 lakh of, compensation you have to put. I'm like, bro, I cannot do this. Now I come to know, but at that time I was very much. Listeners, please don't crack your neighbor's Wi-Fi. Come on, go to them, ask them politely. If they give it, it's okay. If not, Geo is the best. And after that, Airtel, and then VI and all those
VI, the
VI
nighttime
ISP
unlimited
provider.
net.
Yeah, you can go for VI.
Definitely.
This podcast is not at all sponsored by VI, by the way.
Yeah,
Okay.
sponsor me, please.
This is, by the way, supported by VI. That's a different thing.
I'm using VI by the way.
Yeah, sure. I'm also using, bro, everywhere. So, coming back to the story, it went well. I was able to crack it, but I was used to get, removed it. There was a developer known as Alessandro Sangiorgi. Sangiorgi, yeah. So he created an application, and that was much more of a testing application. It was his project, and eventually it became it became, at one time it became the number one trending application. In fact, he was given an award over the Google App Stores also, from Google, to have that number one application, and that was a WPS WPA tester. That application still is there, and it is getting enhanced every day, but at that time it was started at that time. I tested it through my cell phone, and at that time also, my and that people those people, my neighbors, they didn't enable the WPS part. So it went very bad. So, because even if you're testing for test that from through that application, you might, that's a very big thing, that if there is a WPS enabled, then only you might have access or get passed through it. Even though if you have root access, you can get the passwords. If you don't have root access, it's okay, no problem, you won't get anything as such. If only WPA is enabled, then you can't test it. So it felt pretty bad, but by the Almighty's grace, after some days, they have enabled the WPS for extra kind of a protection. Okay, and those extra protection is the thing only where you have to test it. So I started to test, and like, there used to be 8 try of WPS pins. If one hit, if there is one single hit over it, you'll be getting the passwords. Simple.
Definitely.
And there were 8 pins. I tried it, and the best part was, there was one pin that was in sixth number, and that was some 77334683. Yeah, this was the number, because I still remember. So this matched, and it revealed the provider, and it says this is the password, and it says that please change your password or change your WPS pin. And I'm like, no, man, there's no need. Whatever he's doing is great. I don't have to tell him anything as such. I have to just go with the flow. So I just feeded it in my cell phone. I feeded it in my brother's cell phone. The cell phones, all the smartphones that was in my home, I feeded it. Okay, and that, by the way, at that time I was in my mid of 10th standard. Okay, so at that time Android 4.4 was prominent, and 5 was on the launch. I did that. It was fantastic, and it felt the next level of power and freedom. Like, damn, bro, I can do these things now. I can have access of Wi-Fi. I can do whatever I wish to learn and see things and all those things. So it was fun, but at one time it became very much boring. Like, come on, man. After this, what I should do? After this, what I have to do? After this, what I should search and do all those things. So I went again back to that IRC room of Graham. And interestingly, they started to talk about Backtrack. And this is one of the operating system that you should learn, and you should install it, and you should run it. And it consists of a lot of, hacking things and all those things. Okay.
When you see that on YouTube, how to hack someone's computer, all what you get is any
In
test.
2 minutes. Yeah. They used to be like these, clickbait, you say.
Man, I'm
Clickbait.
getting a mail
Uh,
like 15 minutes ago. So one of
Mhm.
my friend tried to reset my Call of Duty password, and I'm getting a pop-up on the recording.
अरे 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 अरे
Now I have got someone at 1 p.m. almost, at 1 a.m. almost.
अरे nice. You know, now I don't know. Now you might get phones such as iPhone and all those things through which you can hack and do all those stuff. At
Yeah.
that time, there was a phone of us which used to, I'm not getting the name of it. Okay. I'm seriously not getting the name, which was attached with a Wi-Fi adapter, and it was a flashed phone, Android only, but it was a net hunter phone. Okay, and they used to
Wow.
sell it. Now they are not selling it because there is a iPhone and everything as such.
Hmm.
Now they don't
Now we
sell
are
it.
getting the flipper and that other things that are
Yeah,
way better than anything.
yeah, but that time that customized phone was damn good, bro. Like seriously, damn, bro. That
Let's
gets
get back to the
started and
topic.
things went. Yeah, that was a very great thing.
We are
In
so
my
dicey,
11th and
right?
12th standard. Yeah.
We are going so dicey.
Yeah, whenever you'll get started with these things, you will get dicey. Okay, if I have to put it
Yeah.
like, yeah. So that phone I used to use it. I'll definitely let you all know in this podcast only. I'll try to remember. But coming back to the story, I in my 11th 12th standard I continued my research. Okay, and I learned a lot of things. In fact, at that time I believe that I was able to get around 30 to 40% of what network security is, and how to, like, the offensive part, how to break the security part and packets and all those things, what packets are, how network packets are transferred, auth packs, and what do you say, the three-way handshake, four-way handshake, and all those things. Every minute thing I was learning it. I was completely, there is a word in Malayalam which is known as padipist. Okay, I was being a completely padipist at that time. Okay, the studious one, because I was learning these things. By the way, my grades were never good in my 12th standard. Okay, so it has nothing to do with that. Okay, my math was normal, decent, I would say. My physics, chemistry was also good. I was not good with physics. But after my first year in my college, it went pretty good. I started to love physics and maths more. I explored a lot of things because mathematics is a very great subject only if you practice every day. Okay, then only you'll get to know about what mathematics is all about. So coming back to the story, 11th 12th standard was fun. I did a lot of stuff, researched, made good friends. Then and I was successfully able to come in my first year. So I had the knowledge of what Kali is. I was able to do a lot of stuff with respect to Kali in cell phone and at a lot of places. Okay. In my first year, when I came to my university, there were a lot of people who were installing Kali and they were putting it on a status on WhatsApp. They were putting it like, at that time WhatsApp was pretty good. They were putting the status like, I installed Kali and I have done all those things. The worst thing was, seriously, that was so pathetic. I sometimes feel very much, ashamed to say, but still, I'll say it here. So they used to connect a breadboard. Okay, you know breadboard, right? A
Yeah.
lot of people know. Yeah, so breadboard with LEDs, they are lighting it with respect to, that side battery, 20-watt battery. And then beside that, there was a Kali terminal opened in a virtual box, and they're showing like, "Let's begin." I'm like, "Come on, man! Seriously, these things, you're like, come on, man! You're a first year student. Okay, it's okay, but still." And I used to make fun of it, like seriously fun of it. In my first year, whatsoever I was able to have all the exposure, I did it from my that cell phone that I yeah, one more thing, the cell phone that my father was using, the rooted one, was given it to me, and he bought a new one because we used to have to get connected with WhatsApp, that video calling and all those things. So he gave it to me and he bought a new one, so it was fun. Okay, and after that, in my second year, I
The
met my mentor.
best part about this social media thing, everyone is like only opening Burp Suite and like, okay, Burp Suite, now start the weapon testing.
Burp Suite is nothing but a mere tool, man.
Yesterday, I got a call from a colleague. You can say that a friend, a good friend of mine, told, bro, I want to join your classes. And
Mhm.
today I saw his status that you guys we are in Bird Suite and we are going to start the web pen testing. Bug Bunty. Okay, man. Sorry.
No, no.
Bunty.
Bug Bunty. Um, I know the guy, but I don't want to say.
Leave
If I
it,
have to
man.
put it in a way, then if I have to put it in a way, then he is my batchmate. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's a pretty good person. Okay. He's a great guy. He's a very helpful guy. He's a very great guy. Okay. And he's doing quite great things at his places also. But now anything else, it's completely, you know, confidential. Okay, not in the podcast. So in
We
my
are not
second year
gonna
I
do
met my
mistakes one second,
yeah,
sir, sir.
not again. See, the thing is, this is between us and for the community. It has nothing to do with the organization that we are working with, and it has nothing to do with the organization any one of us is working with. So it is completely based on community. It is completely based on the fact that we are sharing knowledge rather than you should be, doing anything as such. You should learn whatsoever we are explaining it. That is for sure. Learn as much as possible. Our experiences, sometimes you can use it, but most of the time try to avoid it, because now the surveillance has increased a lot of times. Okay, if you have to put it in a times, in the frequency, it has raised to a level of frequency where you cannot escape. Okay, you have to have a very, very, very legit reason to escape that thing. Okay, so I would say any trick or tips that you are following it, make sure that you are authorized to do it. Otherwise, you won't be able to survive, because there is a very great surveillance that is happening every single moment, even if the podcast that is being recorded, it's being surveilled some or the
Definitely.
other way. Okay, but we are explaining our past experiences, so may the Almighty be pleased with us. Nothing else, I would say. In my second year, I met my mentor, which was Dr. Ajit Kumar. Currently, he is in Seoul. He's a great researcher in university at Seoul, and he's doing fabulous work there also. There he told me that there is a thing which is known as hacking the company, known as bug bounty. And if you find vulnerabilities in the system, and some or the other way, if you tell them and if you convince them, they'll give you money. I'm like, seriously, man? Come on, this is an
Is
illegal
this
thing. Like,
even
no.
real?
Yeah. Damn, bro. This is not how this is to be done. Come on.
Are
And
you
he
guys
was
getting
very
paid?
much, like, that the same thing, the same reaction. Like, Arey, this is the thing that is being taught by Graham in IRC, but I was restricted a lot of times. I pleaded to him, but he never taught me. He just gave me scripts to run, but he never taught me. So I asked him, like, come on, sir, how to get started? Like, that you have to decide. I don't know about anything as such. You should know about something which is known as OWASP Top 10. You have to figure it out, you learn it, and if you have any doubt, you come back to me, because this field is all about research. So I started to research again. My second year, my first year was pathetic, no doubt. My second year was very great, because I learned these things, and interestingly there were these what do you say, subjects. One of the subject was ethical hacking, another subject was related to digital forensics. So these two subjects were there, so I scored pretty much good in my second year at
You
that
know, the
time,
first
because
year
I
is
was
like
researching.
we are going with the mindset of we are going to kill this semester. Okay, we are going to top it. This is the syllabus I want. I want to write a lot of code, but in the end, we are writing code in paper, so it's like useless. How am I supposed to
Man,
compile, man?
yeah, how to compile it?
So it's very hard to
Vedic,
adjust
the
for the
thing
first
is,
year.
you have to adjust, man. Unfortunately, even being an ethical hacker, I would always say, definitely say that you have to adjust yourself. If you don't do it, then it's going to be pretty much bad. Okay, it's going to be very much bad. Otherwise, if you are not able to adjust it, you won't be able to see as to how what the environment is. You have to see the environment. Get to know about what the environment is. Find the loopholes. Exploit it in the right manner. Tell them ethically what is the thing. how to deal with it. But if the complete environment is corrupted in any way, you just try to come out of it, okay, and join something else which is of much better or bigger cause. So I learned it from my mentor, and I started to research about bug bounty hunting and bug bounties, what are bugs and all those things. The very first thing that I came up, the very first video that I came up about bug bounty was over what do you say about a person, or not. It was an article. It was not a YouTube thing. It was an article that came back in 2019. Yeah, 2019, 2020. Yeah, at 2020, at that time, there was an article known as "What is bug bounty hunting," but that was very vague, very vague. So there was a YouTube channel. I think it's of Bloomberg only. Yeah, Bloomberg. There was an interview of an ethical hacker known as Doggy G, or Tommy DeVos, if I have to put it. So he's a very fantastic hacker, man. Come on, he's one of the millionaire hackers, if I have to put it. Okay, so at that time he was not, when the video was recorded. I'll share you the link of that video also. You can just put the Doggy G, you'll get it. So that video, uh, you know opened my eyes a lot of things, like, because he told me that like, not like, he told in the video that how he was in prison, how he was also in the IRC room, and how he was also he learned a lot of things through IRC room, and it resonated a lot. So it was a very great thing. But uh, I just wanted to learn about it. From that video I came to know which is there is a platform known as HackerOne. You find bugs through that. You hack the companies ethically, and what is ethics and all those things. But you know what? Being a new hunter, who cares about ethics? No one does. You just go to the you just go to the domain and you get started. That's it. The problem was, even if I get the domain, what should I start with? What is the big thing that I has to start with? What is the thing, like, I cannot use air replay ng or anything as such over that thing, man. Those tools are for wireless attacks and all those things. What to do in this thing? I have no idea about it. So I went to the mentor, I asked him. He said that there is a tool known as Burp Suite. You go there, you download it, and you use it. Even in Kali and Parrot, it's freely installed. I'm like, acha? I'm like, yeah. So I destroyed my Windows, I put the Kali, and I started it all over again. And interestingly, Kali Linux was best. The problem was network adapter issues. At that time, it was a very big issue that it was going on. Doggy G explained it in his video, that how he is able to, what he is doing, and how anyone can do it. Okay. So, and it's all ethical, because you're telling it to the people, like, it's ethically, you're telling it through the people, and they're getting it and contributing, and it's going very great thing. I started it. I filed like around 2 bugs over HackerOne, then 100, and I got paid also. That was pretty good. I started to learn about RDPs and VDPs also, like vulnerability disclosure program and responsible disclosure programs. That is not based on the, like, people generally discuss it as a, what do you say, bug bounties. So bug bounties might be there, bounties might be there, but it's monetary. That is dependent upon that company. Okay, so when things were going great, things were going awesome, I learned these things. I found out 2 bugs, and I got good money, man. Like, seriously, being in second year, like end of the second year, and you started to earn in dollars. It fucks your mind, if I have to put it. Okay.
Yep.
Interestingly, it was an addiction. I started.
I don't know that the first bounty field was beyond everything.
First bounty was, you might not believe it, but the first bounty that I got was of DMARC record, and that was also pretty much good. Okay, so it was so good that I told my parents, I told my mother, and she was happy about it. Like, okay, you started to earn money. I'm like, yeah, I started to earn money. She said, that's good, but don't tell everyone. I'm like, Are? No, don't say it to anyone. Now I come to know, like, with passage of time after my third and fourth year, that why she always used to say that don't tell it to the people, because you know, in Hindi there is a thing which is known as, if you, अगर आप लोगों को कहते हो ना तो उनके सीने पे सांप लौटता है, ठीक है, and you can't
जोर
do
से.
anything as, you can't do anything as such, okay, like, seriously, if you tell anything, it's like, you are, putting salt in their wound. I'm like, Arey, how he is able to, because no one sees your hard work, no one
So
sees how much you have failed.
there is a law from the 48 laws of our book. It is said that
Mhm.
don't trust your friends, try to use your enemies. It is like of that.
Always listen to your enemies always. If they tell you, because see, not enemies, I would say, see, in life there are no enemies, okay. The only
Yeah.
thing is that you have competitors, you have oppositions, opposite people, opposite mindset, and it's okay. Listen to them because they are going to bring back the worst thing what you have in you, and just improve it. Tell them, yeah, improved. Next thing, man. Next thing, man. Next thing, man. They'll be get surprised as to how fast he's able to do it. And you'll be like, yeah, so what? You cannot do it, it's okay, but I can. Because we are curious people. We if we find it like, no man, this is a thing which is bad, like seriously bad, then we won't do it. And if this is the thing that we have to, make changes in, we will make changes in. He told me, so my mentor told me about bug bounty. I was started to do it pretty much good. In my third year, I started to learn about programming also because it was necessary to crack a job in my fourth year. But my heart was still in the field of cybersecurity. I Through my college, I used to university. I applied with a lot of companies, but there's most of the software, but software engineering position, it was not worth it. So interestingly, different companies came. There was one company that came for security. In fact, a lot of companies came, but I was able to crack one, and I got an apprenticeship there. While doing my apprenticeship there, I came to know what pen testing in reality really looks like. It is nothing to do with bug bounty hunting. It has, like, bug bounty hunting is much more like an, like, dynamic part. Like, okay, this is how it is being done. You write the report, you tell them, and they pay you. That was a straightforward thing. In pen testing, it's a very big thing. And if you successfully do a pen testing, the money related to it is also very big. You get different contracts. You're able to, do the freelance part, and it's pretty much great. You get good, amount of money when you just get it back. Currently, I'm just doing the VDPs, RDPs only, and I'm some of the programs that might bring bounties, because currently I'm not focused on much on bounties. I'm currently, you know, putting all my brains over, the server side bugs over Web 3.0, because that's a different topic that we should discuss. So currently I'm doing all those things. Never mind. So I conquered some of the bugs in my hands. Like, damn, bro, I can find it like this, like this, like that, and I'm getting it. The problem was, after my second bug, I didn't got any kind of response. Like everything else, duplicate, 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 not anything. Everything was not applicable. After my 188th bug, I got another bounty, and that felt so much exciting. I was like, finally, I got peace. And after that piece, I just left bug hunting for like a month. I sincerely left it. And after that 1 month, when I came back to the thing, I just started it again, and my hand was not going on it. I was feeling pretty bad. I'm like, come on, man, ye to aata hai mujhe. But when I started doing it again, I forgot. So this is some kind of an addiction that you get started with it. You have to learn it. You have to constantly learn every day. That day I realized it. So I started again, and it was going pretty good. Being as a pen tester at a place and then doing these things. And the best part about the previous organization was they never stop. They like, okay, bro, whatever you're doing, you do it. No problem at all. You just don't have to, proliferate everything. Whatever you're doing pretty good. Just do it, make it your best, and just be awesome with that. So it was the manager was good, the team was fantastic, everything was good. Unfortunately, after 6 months of apprenticeship, I didn't get a chance. Even I was given a chance, but it was in different team and not in the team that I wanted to or wished to be. So I left that place. Interestingly, different organizations approached, and I applied to the place, and then I got successfully at the place where I am currently. But it's okay. no problem at all, nothing as such. It was fantastic. My journey was fantastic till now, to learn as much as possible, bug hunting and everything. I still, work on myself over security research, because that is a very prominent thing that has to be done by most of the people in the field of cybersecurity. Because if you are constantly learning, make sure you everyday research, learn about new things that are coming in the market, read news, see about how the reverse engineering works over that. And sincerely, for all the people who are new to the bug bounty, new to the cybersecurity, just get yourself started as soon as possible, because you have no idea how in depth things goes by. So this is what my overall journey has been.
That was pretty amazing, right? And that was pretty amazing.
I don't know,
Now,
the listeners will say how it was. I have no idea.
in my opinion, that was pretty crazy, right? It's full of courage and curiosity. So definitely, I don't think there is someone who will say it's boring.
It's okay, man. Even if it is boring, it was my journey, man. No problem.
Yeah. And the main thing from your journey is consistent and keep the kid in your soul alive.
Always,
Just
always, always keep your kid alive in yourself, and just be curious. Learn everything, question everything as to how, why, what. You have to question it, bro, because that is what makes a human different from animals. This how, what, why. This is the thing.
definitely, like there's a lot of things that we can discuss about. We can make this podcast a 12 and 24 hour long, right? We are not going to stop on some topics, right? So, as you told that a lot of things about your journey. Now, as in that, there's a lot of people who are like, okay, I want to learn something about API pen testing from you. So,
Mhm.
anything for them?
Okay, so when you're getting started with the API pen testing and everything, you should know about what everyone will say, that get to know about what API is. Like, seriously, this is the very basic thing that you should do know as to how APIs are working, what API serves as a service, how APIs are being implemented, what are the types of APIs. These are the basic things that you should know. Now, when you're going through these 5 or 4 things that you can get it by a simple search on Google also, what Google cannot give you, might not give you, is how to get with the API pen testing. There are people who have written their journey, and all of them are pretty amazing. The thing is, when you get started with the API penetration testing, okay, there are many people also who have started with the courses. When you get started with API pen testing, make sure that you are having quite a sound knowledge, like basic knowledge about the different types of APIs. Second, setting up the browser proxy. If you're using Burp Suite, or you're using OWASP proxy, whatsoever you're using. My favorite one currently is Burp Suite, because of a lot of extenders and all those things, the key features that it has, because it's built on Java. Even though I hate Java, but still, okay. Even though I'm not a Java lover. Okay,
There is
not
a
because
meme.
yeah, I'm not a Java lover, man. Okay, Java is a very great language. It might be, and it's the product that is being made is also very good. Even I know how to write code in Java. With time, I've started to learn it, but I hate Java. Okay, personally, I love scripting languages: Python, Bash, Go. Golang is fantastic. Fantastic. It is going. Golang is going. I don't know. I cannot predict anything as such, because there is nothing known as prediction. But I believe Golang has the capabilities to replace Python. Although Python has been deep rooted in a lot of things, because it is
There is
very
a
simple.
thing like people usually say that Python is slow. There is a language. I think you know about it. Julia. Speed of
Hmm.
C and simplicity of Python. So that's
Yeah.
a really deadly combination, right? In the market.
Hmm. It is a deadly combination. But the thing is, people are not advertising it that much now. People are not using it that much. There are a lot of languages which are very easy to write, simple to execute, but people don't want to use it. That's it. That is the thing. Why people want to use Python? Because it has been advertised in the best way possible. Okay, Python is very easy, man. Everyone wants to learn. I want to be a Python developer. I'm like, Hare, seriously, come on, ajo, ajo. When you'll be back, then you'll get to know what Python being currently a Python developer, what it looks like. I have many colleagues at my place, and they are very much hit. Sometimes they are very much good, and then they are like abusing a lot of. I mean, a lot of my friends, in fact, not colleagues, my friends, they are breaking their brains, not because of syntax and semantics of Python, but because of the conjuncture that it is being set with different kind of text stacks and everything. So coming
I
back to
wanna
the
ask a
question,
question after you
yeah,
complete.
ask.
Look, it's going to be on YouTube. Okay. Are you available to take a class of API pen testing advanced bug bounty course? Yes or no? Are you willing to just a casual class?
See, man, the thing is, it's about time. First thing,
Anytime
okay.
you want after in the
Anytime
next
that,
January, February.
bro, January. See, the thing is, man,
Mm-hmm.
taking a class is not an issue.
Yep.
The issue is with the time management. I used to be great with the time management, okay, but with, you know, when I have started to contribute in different places, I'm not able to get a particular time to, teach people. Furthermore, there was some incident that never they didn't went well, that I had it in my say in my third year only. Yeah, in my third year, a lot of thing happened with one of the very reputed what you say company that started private limited. Some private limited started before. It didn't went well, so I left that place for a reason. So from that time, I stopped, teaching people about cybersecurity and these things. Have been like, I write the write-ups. You learn it through blogs if you want to. Even I sometimes create basic, some tweets or memes, anything as such. I can provide you with those things. I can, the problem is, even if I try to educate people now, that's
You told me
that's
about that.
it doesn't end well. Previously, it never end well. It didn't ended well at that time previously. So I sometimes go away from educating people. I'm like, people have everyone who is listening to the podcast, or people who are not even listening to this podcast or any podcast, they have the capabilities of learning things by themselves. Okay, the thing is, if you are getting dependent on someone and like, man, I want to learn this, like, see, if I am, for example, I have no idea about what OWASP is, I have no idea about what a burp suite is, I have nothing, and if
Mm-hmm.
I get to your course, then I like get the access of what, okay, this is burp suite, this is OWASP, this is how things go out, so I'll get a head start with it.
There are a lot of people who want every resource in before the
A
course is
lot of people,
starting.
bro, a lot of people have even asked me over Twitter, asked me over um Instagram, particularly Instagram, sir, please. Sir, I want to learn hacking. Like, come on, man. This is not how you have to ask. Okay, you have to ask, what do you want to learn? But it's not their fault, because the exposure of cybersecurity is quite less in our country now. Currently, it's very less. It's increasing, and that's a good thing. But with what reach it's increasing, no one knows. I want to hack this. Why, man? My GF is not talking with me, man. Come on, man. My girlfriend is not
Give
talking.
me
My
her
crush.
credentials or check
No
if she's
credential.
talking to
Arey, credential
something.
is a very big word, bro. Give me her password,
Password.
man. Hack her account, bro. Like, arey, what are you saying, man? That's not what I do. There a lot of people ask, man, but still, even you have
I
also received.
I have a lot of messages. Sometimes
Yeah.
I just want to play with them. I reply, "Oh man, you just have to tell this like a week ago. I just recently blocked Mark Zuckerberg. I'm so sorry." It's not
Mhm.
like that, man.
Mhm.
Hacking is
Okay,
not
so
this.
so if I have to put it in a thing, your question that are you going to take? I have not decided yet that I'll be taking or
If you
not.
got
But
time,
if that's a very big thing,
if
if I get time, then there are chances that I might take it for
yeah,
because there are a lot of great people who are teaching bug bounty hunting, and that's fantastic, no doubt about it. Okay, there are a lot of people who are teaching it in a very great way.
Definitely.
Yeah, because I personally have learned from a lot of people also. There were a lot of concepts that I didn't know. Okay, I've learned from community, I've learned it from, sometimes I've learned from your content also, Vedic. That's not the thing. I've learned it from everywhere, bro.
That's a
Learning is a
great thing.
constant, yeah, learning is a consistent, you have to be consistent to learn from every place. Okay, and yes, it never matters of what age your educator is. Please, please, please make that in your mind. It it never matters. तुम चाहो तो तुम 16 साल के भी लड़के से सीख सकते हो, तुम चाहो तो 58 साल के बंदे से भी सीख सकते हो, तुम किसी से भी सीख सकते हो. The very big purpose what you should have is to learn about it. Okay, you should have that passion to learn the things. So there are chances that I might start the things, but currently I am not in that mood or anything as such. Currently, I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah. So as per the questions that you asked before, that APIs, very first thing what you should get started is to know the types of APIs and have the focus that APIs are always going to, reflect or, get you. The biggest thing what you can find through the APIs is the PIIs, that is personal identifiable information. That if you are able to get PII leaks, then yes, way to go, man. You got the biggest thing what you can ever imagine. Because APIs consists of, transferring of personal data and all those things. A lot of things are there. But personally speaking, if you're able to get the PIIs, damn bro, that's a P1 vulnerability. If you have to consider the bug crowd VRT, then or 9.0 severity with respect to HackerOne and integrity. Okay, so APIs are much more about exposing the logic of the application, then fuzzing it. About fuzzing, then go for sensitive data exposures. With that, what I told about, that is about PIIs, and how to, if possible, not REMA, sorry, RE. It's like reverse engineering the APIs to get something which is much more juicy as an information. Okay, this is the very first mindset that you should have. End goal should be your getting PIIs, and getting started is to get to know about what application logic is with APIs. Okay,
Definitely.
just it. And
You,
after that, if you want anything as such, go to the OWASP website. There is a very great, great, great guide over APIs. You can go one by one, if you can go randomly depending upon that. But very first thing is to get your mindset done that whatsoever you do with the APIs, at the end you'll be able to either get the biggest thing, which is going to be PIIs, personal identifiable information leaks, anything as such. That hope the answer to the question.
yeah. And like one more thing, like we get a lot of API keys, like okay, this is the number. How to identify them? What service of they are like? We are having Google API,
Now
it will
the
start
identification
AI.
of these numbers is completely depend upon experience and your Googling skills. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing can help you. It's
Yeah,
all
that's what
about
I. That's
experience.
why I usually get questions like, I got this key. How am I supposed to recognize it?
You got a key, whenever you get a key, see the number of digits that is it has. Okay, if you get to know the number of digits, then divide it by 2. If you have to put it, whatever the number of the digits what you get, divided by 2, see the difference of it. If you're getting it in a decimal, then believe it, this is nothing but a hashed value. If you're not getting it in a decimal, getting it in some any other things, make sure that it might be a kind of PGP key. PGP keys are quite huge. Like the
Mm-hmm.
PGP keys are those keys only that you're putting it in your mail many a times to send it as an encryption. My definition might be aage piche, but this is what it is all about. Okay, PGP keys, pretty good privacy keys, if I have to put it. If you
Um,
go for, yeah,
like what tools would you recommend? Like there are a lot of tools. So what
for
tools would you
APIs,
say that we can use in bug hunting and overall ethical hacking or cybersecurity? What tools are the best that we can use?
um, that's a good question. So there are a lot of tools. Personally speaking, there are a lot of tools, and there are pretty good developers that are creating a lot of great tools also. Security researchers, experts. Currently my favorite one, no doubt, is Burp Suite, no doubt, because I have been working over Burp Suite from past 2 years and three from the starting only. If I have to put it, I'm using Burp Suite, okay, but I have not that much of enhanced with the different. It's with the different applications. I've been only doing the intruder part, the repeater, sending it, manually doing everything. But then I came to know that there are different things known as authorize. Then there are things which are known as Burp Collaborator, and there are things we can do these things. I used to go for SSRF with the NG Rock part, bro. Come on, Burp Suite, you know, it sincerely decreased my pain of running NG Rock again and again and again. So it went pretty good. I would say personally go for Burp Suite. Have a great hands-on if possible on over Burp Suite. First thing, if you have hands-on over Burp Suite, you are able to play with the web proxy, and that's a big thing. If you're able to get the proxy as to how it is working, get to know about the security headers that are being implemented. These security headers will let you know about, acha, I have to do, like, these are the things that have been set as a policy, these are the things that has been set as a cache or cookies. These are the things which you have to know, okay, even if you're going with the APIs or going with the web application as an ethical actor. Learn about Burp Suite. Second thing, learn Linux as much as possible.
Linux.
जितने हो सके उतने कमांड सीखो. As much commands as you can learn over Linux. Start with the basics. One day, within a day, you can't do anything, or within a month, no, it takes some time, bro. It takes about some months. But once you have learned it, now your return of ROI, like return of investment, is going to be pretty much huge.
It's
So
really
learn
a
Linux.
great, like, while learning, it feels like, okay, I know a lot of things, but in the end, when we are actually doing it in real life, we feel like, okay, there is a lot to know, and I'm doing pretty good, and I can even do a lot of things. So we need to spend some time on learning it perfectly, and then we can move to the real life testing. And one more thing, don't dependent on labs too much. Okay, learn from labs, but don't be dependent on them, right? Because
Um,
they are
See, don't
supposed to
be
be
dependent.
vulnerable.
That's a
Just
true
try
thing.
to analyze the real life cases. I'm not saying go and hunt on real website. Try to understand the POCs.
Yeah, try to learn the POCs. This is a big thing.
Yep.
Try to learn it, because most of the people don't learn the things. Don't do that part, man. Learn the things as much as possible, okay? Learn it
Yeah.
as to how it is being implemented. Learn it as to how things are going great or not going great, anything as such. Learn it. Because once you learn it, nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
Nothing can stop you. The learning
Yeah.
part is the painful part.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
As I said, it is the labs are made vulnerable. Real life targets are not made vulnerable, or they are not like some CTF that you have to yeah, find the bug, report, and get the reward. They are made secure.
Yes, exactly. They have been said to be in that way. Okay.
Definitely. You
Yeah.
said that you are hunting on VDPs, right?
Yep. Currently, yes. I'm working over VDPs only, not over any particular. Like, I have not hunted over hacker one for past 2 months, and bug crowd is like over a year or something or such. I haven't, because I'm not
And
getting any time, bro.
time is a big issue, right?
The
Sometimes you
time
will feel like
management.
24 hours are so less. I
Even if
need
you'll
like
get 48 now,
48.
if you're not able to, even if you're not able to get it, if you see, everyone has 24 hours. How you're managing it, like, my time management is not that much good currently. Previously it was great, now it is not, because I
These
have
days,
some work
my
at my
time
house
management
and all
is
those things.
also in danger.
It's okay, it's okay, it happens.
There was a time like, okay, I have to start the workshop at 9. Currently, it's 8:48. Let's go. We are having 12 minutes to go and get the groceries. And we just exactly ran for that timing. And when we reach back home, we check the time. Okay, it's 8:59. We are correct on time. we are so curious about the time management, and now, okay, there is an hour, let me sleep for another 2 hours. It's like that. So
Yeah, it is like that.
it will
So
recover
yeah,
soon.
yeah, we'll get it. So my personal tool favorite is Burp Suite. After that, learning about Linux and all those things. And third thing, what if you wish to learn is about cryptography. Man, cryptographic flaws are there, and people will blindly pay you if you write a right report, write a good, like a good report. They will pay you very great. Even in Web 3.0, there are tons of cryptographic failures, a lot of it. And if you are a great hunter, start to learn it. Start to learn cryptographic failures as much as possible. Test over the real life VDPs and RDPs that are working over Web 3.0 if possible. If possible, if you cannot, then do something in which you can get an exposure. Try to do it. Work over those projects, because cryptographic failures, the very first thing. Second, server misconfigurations. And third, which is server side request forgery. These three bugs
Definitely.
are going to be quite prominent in Web 3.0.
No, as
Quite
you
prominent.
talked on the Insta Live, people usually look for the CSS bug, which are supposed to be more hunted, and they don't focus on the server
Everyone is
side.
working over those
But
things.
server side
Yeah,
can be
exactly.
great, you know.
Server side bugs pay huge, and like definitely huge, a lot huge, man. You might think of it like seriously, man. I'm like definitely it pays huge, and you just cannot rumble or say anything. Like no, it doesn't. Like it does great, fantastically it does. Okay, so if you go for
Definitely.
server side bugs, you get it Web 3.0. Okay, work over those things. Work over Burp Suite, work over Linux. There are different custom made tools also. You can go for it. Sublister, not Sublister, I would say Subfinder, and to get the live
Sublister is not working these days in many cases.
Sublister is not updated. If I have to put
Yeah.
it, Abukir has not, Abdul has not updated it. He's very, very elder than me, bro. Very elder. But security community is all about hi, hello. It's like that. So something like that. So um, he is like that. It
Everyone is
might not
doing
get. It
best at
might
its own pace, right?
like Sublister. Sublister is not going to be
Mhm.
updated now, I guess. So because there are a great tools like from OWASP, it's like AMAS. That's a very great handy tool if you know how to use it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
So you said
Nessus
something.
Nmap, they are also so good.
NSS, array Nmap, bro. Nmap is it's a great tool. Although now there are prints that can be found of nmapping done over a system, like logs are always generated. Now logs are getting generated pretty much great. So you can get the things as to what are the things that is going on. So even if you do an nmap over servers, you should know that the people who are working over servers and system admins, they know that from this IP they are using the nmap. So don't use blindly or running the nmap over different servers, okay, or IP addresses. Don't do that, because they can use it against you in the legal and defamation and all those cases. So make sure you are safe from that.
I always say that before reporting, ask yourself, is there a vulnerability? Before testing, ask yourself
Mhm.
or look at the
Mhm.
policies if it is in scope.
Always, always, always read the program. Always read the program.
Many people are like, okay, bounty is this, scope is this, let's go. Bro, check the policies, and they'll be like,
You have to
man, this
check the
domain is out
policies,
of
man.
scope.
You have to check the policy, bro. Otherwise, it's going to be very much, very much
It will be
difficult.
messed up.
Very much messed up. You won't be able to, do anything with it. Nothing you will be able to do it once
Definitely.
messed up.
You have to take a look at the policies. It's really so important.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know why, but a lot of people ignore it like, okay, man, let it be. It's so important. One more thing,
Mm-hmm.
like as we talked about the cryptography, the modern
Mhm.
bugs, the server side.
Mhm.
How to choose a program? Like there's a lot of things people usually say we are not able to find new programs. We are like not able to do this that. Then how can we
Okay.
do that?
Um, See, there are docs to do it, but I will never say that go with the docs because everyone is using docs. Okay,
Yep.
using this doc and you get the program and yay. No, if you're working over RDPs and VDPs, then I will say to take the programs that is always based on European countries or South American companies. Okay, or you can go for JPs also, means Japan. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the responsible disclosure programs that consist of JP in Japan or European countries or South American companies. These companies are going to pay you very much. Like for example, there are docs over neither for Netherlands, for UK, for Denmark, and all those things. Why don't people go for Switzerland? Why don't people go for Poland? Why don't go people go for Ireland? There are things. There are VDPs and RDPs there also, but people won't do it because they are just copy pasting it over the Google and then doing it. See, copying and pasting and doing all those things, it's good, but you are not progressing. Remember that. Okay, if you copy a thing, you paste it, you learn from it, it's fantastic. I never say that rote language means not rote language, which means just remembering the things is bad. No, it's very great asset if you're able to learn the things. The problem is if you're learning the things, like if you're remembering the things, and if you're not able to apply, what is the use of remembering those things then? If I'm able to learn about the tables of 1 to 20, that was the very elementary topic that we were discussed in our high schools as well as
Mm-hmm.
normal primary schools. If I know about 11 to 20, what like 1 to 20, what is the biggest key feature? I'll be able to multiply faster in my examinations. So if you're working over different VDPs and RDPs, copying a thing is a very great asset. Remembering these copied things is a good thing. The problem is you won't progress unless and until there is a tincture or tincture, sorry for the word tincture of your right thing. Like for example, I wrote it about responsible disclosure colon, it is Netherlands is the thing, NL is written. Why not remove the NL part and then use it, like for example, South America is a
Yeah.
there is anything else. Okay, there's a Burma.br or something as such. Any other company's extension. Don't go for .pk. You won't get paid. Okay, so if you're working over different companies, you're putting dot something any other company or just put dot star. If you're not reinventing things within that dark, you won't be able to find any growth in it. So very first thing, have the mindset as to which section of the world or the VDPs or RDPs you want to get engaged in. You can go either for European countries, which pay you good. You can go for Japan, they also pay you good. You go for South American companies, that is also going to pay you good. The problem one challenge what you're going to face will be the language. It's not
Yeah.
going to be in English, it's going to be in some other language. It can be French, it can be Portuguese, it can be Sinhala, it can be any other language. Okay, it can be Spanish. If you're not able to know about this language, nothing you have to do. Just in another tab, open the Google Translate, copy the things, paste it there, learn about it, about what the program says about. Learn it. See, you have to take an extra action, extra effort
Step.
in order to step in order to hunt for new programs. Because there on GitHub there are a lot of docs, okay, and people are copying in and pasting it, and they are finding it great bugs. By the Almighty's grace and blessings, they are getting good bugs. And that's not a bad thing. That's a very good thing. But if you reinvent and do it, now you're getting the 80 like your ROI is going to be around 80% more than what they'll be earning it if you do it properly. This 80% more is very huge, bro. Everyone who are listening to this podcast, this is a very big thing. So learn it. Learn to reinvent and make your own, your own recipe for the dogs. First thing, select the place where you want to find. Second, reinvent the docs that you're copy pasting it. Give your own way as to how the docs work and you do it so that it is going to help you in your reconnaissance part. Third, and the most important thing whenever you're choosing an RDP and VDP, first, if chosen and if you're read, see the out of scope bugs, out of scope domains,
Yeah.
always. Not because, by the way, many might think that, oh, if out of bugs you find it out and you just, like, when you find out the bugs in the out of scope domains, they won't be paid. No, bro, that is never the case. Whenever you take a domain which is out of scope, whenever you are finding a bug, make sure the severity of that bug is somewhat connected to the domain that is in scope, because no out of scope domain is not related. Like, for example, always an in scope domain is going to be connected with the out of scope domain, always. It's not those both are another entity. No, bro, they are not. They are the same entities, but they have been disturbed, like, not disturbed, what do you say, um being separated. Okay, because if, like, for example, if you get a remote code execution or you got a very big cross-site scripting, something as such in your out of scope, and with you're getting a not cross-site scripting, I would say, you're getting an SQL injection through which you're able to dump a complete data set of complete PIIs, and you got it in an out of scope. Do you think that the company is going to ignore it? Just think. Companies will, like, this is a very big question that companies will never ignore it. If you get a very big vulnerability in an out of scope area, you just tell them politely, like, see, even if I get it, but still this is a quite big deal. Okay, so see it. If it is worth it, then it's great. If it is not, it's okay, no problem. And the very fourth point, if I have to put it in, then don't expect after filing a bug. Just don't expect anything. Go for next bug. Just go for next bug. Don't think that I should wait for the bug and how it should come. No. Wait only for one thing, and that is to go for next target. Go for next target, find a bug, and then tell them. That's it. You should love the process. Everything else is a byproduct. That's it. Everything else is nothing but a byproduct. So learn the process, learn to dive deep, and learn these things. Okay, so that in that way, as a APIs or web or Android or thick client or cloud, anything you are testing, eventually you'll get pretty good in the field of red team, offensive security, and all those things. So yeah, that's my take. Hope the answer to the question.
Definitely. Choosing program is like having an approach, like thinking out of the box is everywhere in the cybersecurity. I think it's everywhere in everything, kind of.
That's a quite a big thing, bro. That's literally quite a big thing, because not everyone is able to, get to that part.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
What bug is your personal favorite, by the way?
There is not one bug that is favorite for me.
Any particular type? Server sides, right?
Yeah, it was server side. My favorite one was remote code execution previously, but now I'm not finding it because I don't want to find, because it consumes quite a time. Although the return is huge, but it takes quite a time, and now the web application is being made very much dynamic, so it's quite difficult. Not completely, but quite difficult to find a remote code execution. It's not difficult. It takes some time, bro. It's not difficult at all. So, apart from that, current my favorite is sensitive information disclosure, means that PIIs over APIs. By the way, because I always work over APIs now. Getting the, twisting the rate limits to like chain, like next level thing. It has nothing to do with only a mail trigger or anything as such. Now rate limiting is much more now. Even if everyone is there, if everyone is listening to this podcast, rate limiting can be escalated to a lot of big vulnerabilities. Please work it out, research over it, There are a lot of possibilities now you can do it, because the moment the IAM and the access management areas and the sections in which things are going on, okay, the access identity and access management areas that OWASP has bring, and they are bringing up about a one-time password and all those things, whatever they are bringing in. Okay, these things are bringing a huge gap and huge, attack factors, attack areas, and this is a very big thing. Okay, broken access control and identity and access management section that is being told about OWASP top 10. Everyone start to learn it. Go for rate limitings, vulnerabilities, go for broken access control. These vulnerabilities, whenever you'll be dealing it is going to be pretty much huge, man. Very much good. So learn about it as much as possible.
Definitely. Learning, like consistently learning is the key in this thing, I guess.
Very much, bro. You have to be consistent in order to grow. Otherwise, you're going to regret. You'll be like, damn, why did I took it? You will be like that. This should not be done.
So these are for today's podcast. Don't forget to check out the links and the resources from the podcast and other things. See you guys in the next video. Like, share, and subscribe.